Am I kidding? Why am I like this? Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking powder blushes. Powder blushes are my favorite formula for blush. They just are. I love a cream. I love a liquid. They're great, but the powder blushes, I'm obsessed with them. I just am. And I feel like slowly we've had some more powder blush launches that I feel like we're moving back into our powder blush era. Even though I know that cream blushes ain't going anywhere. Okay? Cream blushes are great, but powder blushes just last long. They're just my favorite. And we have had a most recent powder blush launch, and I felt like, okay, let's talk about it. So we're talking about my favorite powder blush formulas in the kind of clean beauty world, and I am really excited to jump into the video and get started. We have some good stuff here. I'm going to kind of talk about formulas, which ones are more matte, which ones I like the most. I feel like everyone that watches this channel will know which is my favorite blush formula. But there is a new one that came out that is just really jazzing me. So I'm excited to get in this video and get started. If you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into my favorite powder blushes. Let's get into it. We're going to talk shades and all that jazz as well. Anyways, let's jump right in. I'm not going to grab in any particular order. I'm going to do swatches and all of that for you guys as well. First blushes I want to talk about, the Tower 28 blushes. I actually have 3 shades of them here. These are on the newer side. I'm going to swatch these and then we're going to talk about them. So again, I have 3 shades. The first one we have here is this shade. It's Sawtelle Slushy. And it's very pretty. Do a swatch on my wrist. That is Sawtelle Slushy. Then we have a Samo Spritz. This one is so gorgeous. This one, I've been trying to do more cool tones because I feel like weirdly, actually, I don't know if that's weirdly, just in my mind weirdly, that cool tones just tend to look a little bit better on me at times. So that's Sawtelle Slushy. And then this one, even though this is not cool tone, I love this shade. This one is, what is it, Iced Tea, Long Beach Iced Tea. It is so stunning. And the reason I love it so much is because I do love more, like fleshy is crazy work. Not fleshy, but more kind of nothing looking blushes. They end up looking like something. I don't know how to explain it. But this is, okay, if I don't learn how to swatch a little bit better, so that is this shade here on the end. It looks like nothing, but it is absolutely stunning. I actually tried this one on camera if you want to see this one, but it gives you just like a barely there flush, but a flush nonetheless. It doesn't end up looking like truly nothing. Let me maybe fix the swatch for this one because, yeah, there we go. I've been trying to get better at making sure all the swatches kind of are the same length, but this is what they look like. And I'm a really big fan of this formula. It doesn't skip or bunch up or anything like that. I love the way that it kind of just glides. It is, again, a matte formula, but it isn't flat matte. So you still have just a little, like, stuff can peek through it. In a good way. It doesn't make your face just lay fully flat, but if you need something that's more on the matte side or you want something that's more on the matte side, this is a really beautiful formula. I really enjoy it. Next up, I want to talk about the Cover FX. They have this like duo, blush duo, and you have a matte and a shimmer. Okay, did that the wrong order. You have a matte and a shimmer, and this is in the shade Warm Honey. I love shades like this. This is just so beautiful, and I love this formula. So I'm gonna do a swatch of both of these, and I want to swatch it next to the is it Long Island? It has to be. No, it's not. It's Long Beach. The Long Beach Iced Tea from Tower 28, because the shades can kind of be looked at as similar. So I want them to be swatched next to each other. I want to make sure I do a good swatch. Okay, we have them here. So this is the matte shade here, and then this is the shimmer shade. And I know it doesn't really look like much, but it's a beautiful shimmer, and layered on top of each other, they're stunning. And then this shade right here, this one is the Long Beach Iced Tea. Maybe I should do a swatch of the, yeah, let's do it on the back of my hand. So this is the matte shade here. And then this is the shimmer shade here. And I just want you to see them. Kind of, yeah, there we go. See, yeah, what it kind of looks like. They're both beautiful. I really like the way that they wear. They last really long on the cheeks. Really, really enjoy this formula. It's nice, and the matte is nice and soft, but not so soft that it fluffs everywhere. I would say that the shimmer is packed a little bit harder in the pan, which is good. You don't want it to be fluffing everywhere when it's a little bit more shimmery, because you don't want it to kind of shimmer all over your face. But this is a beautiful formula, and it's one that I really enjoy just grabbing. And it's nice to have both a matte and a shimmer in the formula, like in a pan, because sometimes I want something that's more matte on my cheeks, and sometimes I want something that's more shimmery. So this is a really nice one to travel with. Overall, I like the way that it lays on top of product. I don't have any skipping or patchiness with that one. I don't really have any patchiness with the Tower 28 one either. Overall, both of these are beautiful formulas. Next. Okay, let's do this one next. Next, we have this one from RMS Beauty. This is a beautiful formula. Look at that. Just even in the pan, look. Stunning. So this is the RMS, their Hydra Powder Blush, and this is in the same, if I don't get a grip, in the shade Bohemian Girl. One of you actually recommended this shade to me, and you were right. I love it. This is a beautiful blush. I like how it's packed in the pan. I like how it layers on top of other products. I like just... I really don't have anything bad to say about the formula. I know that it's a formula so many of you guys love because you always mention it. And the shade is so beautiful. Look how pretty that is. It's right here. It is so, so stunning. Let me make sure that you can see everything really well. It is very, very beautiful, and it is pigmented. Pigmented. Like, this is one where I tap in the pan and then I take product off on the back of my hand, because if not, I end up looking crazy because I applied too much. But this is absolutely stunning. Again, the way it wears, the way it layers, the way throughout the day it just catches the light is so beautiful. I do love a matte blush, but my favorite type of blush is one that just gives me a really healthy looking cheek, especially for a powder. Really healthy looking cheek without looking glittery. And to me, this has more of a shimmer. Let's swatch it on my hand. I feel like it's easier to see shimmer on my hand, on the palm of my hand. It has just such a healthy kind of glow and shimmer to it without looking obscenely glittery or anything like that. It is very, very beautiful, and it is a formula that I also want to buy another shade in, but I'm trying to curb my blush addiction. It's not going well. If you can't tell, it's not going well. Anyways, I digress. Next formula. So the next one I want to talk about, let's talk about this one next, is the one that I have too many of, the Haus Labs Powder Blush. Love. So I have 3 shades. This formula is so beautiful. I know so many of you love this formula as well. So this one is the shade Fire Moon. This is when they repackaged and did all of that. It's a very pretty shade. It actually reminds me of the Cover FX one, but it's a little bit darker and a little bit warmer. But it reminds me a little bit of, I hope you can see, of that formula. I need to be able to pull this up enough. There we go. And that is just like so beautiful. I love this shade. This formula is also really beautiful. The next one we're going to use is Pomelo Peach. which this shade in spring, summer, girl, please, I love it. This is a very beautiful peach shade. And I do struggle with peach shades a lot of the time because I feel like sometimes they just kind of fall flat on my complexion. I don't know why. Sometimes they're a little too light or they have a little bit too much pink in them and they don't really feel like a true peach. Whereas this one feels like a true peach. It's very, very pretty. And I'm a very big fan of the formula in general. And this shade is really nice. And this is one I really like to grab in spring. And then this one, Hibiscus Haze. Look how pretty that is. It is such a pretty shade. I'm gonna do a nice swatch of this too. I really like Hibiscus Haze as a shade. I feel like a lot of people will enjoy this. It isn't too pink. I feel like sometimes blushes can be a little too pink for certain just skin tones and undertones. And also some people like a really pink blush and sometimes it's like other people are like, please, I look insane. Here, it's at the end here. It is very, very pretty. This blush I really enjoy. Some matte blushes, again, fall flat. These do not fall flat. You still get a little bit of, oof. If your product you put underneath or even the skin underneath has a nice glow to it, it still kind of pops through so it doesn't look super, super matte. I also feel like the formula, although it is more on the matte side, when you're looking at it, it's not a lay flat matte. And I don't know if that description makes any sense to anyone, but to me, a lay flat matte just kind of is like, it does nothing but just kind of sit there. This one doesn't sit there. It really melts into the skin really nicely and it looks really kind of melded into the skin once it kind of settles in. It is so beautiful. I mean, there's a reason that so many people love this formula. It's absolutely stunning. I'm a very, very big fan of that one. And these shades are so pretty. You have to let me know which of the shades I've swatched so far is your favorite. Now, let's go here. So this is the one I've talked about the most. I have a problem. I have also 4, which clearly means I need an intervention. The Bare Minerals bronzers. I'm obsessed. They have a liquid. I actually did a review of the liquid. Of the two, I still prefer the powder because I prefer powder in general, but the liquid is beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful formula. And also, this reminds me a lot of the Bare Minerals, their ambient lighting blushes. The way that it sits, the way that it looks is just so stunning. So we're going to swatch these. I've talked about these a ton. I've tried them on a bunch on camera. This is the shade Kiss of Rose. Love this shade. It is very pretty. And the sheen is just like unmatched. I don't know how to explain it. It's sheen and pigmentation. These are packed in the pan, not super tight at all, but they're not super light either. They're not packed so lightly where you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be a powdery mess. I hope I did a good enough job pulling it up. Yeah, there we go. It is very, very pretty. And it's this shade specifically, I like in fall a lot. It just jazzes me in fall. This shade here is Kiss of Copper, and this one is so stunning. This is actually one that when I first swatched it, I was stunned at how beautiful it was. I don't know how to explain what it looked. I wish you could see in person because sometimes you just need to see stuff in person. It is just so beautiful, and this one and Kiss of Rose, so pigmented in the best way. Not in a way where you're like, oh no, but light hand with these blushes. So, so beautiful. Now we're going to go on with, what's this one? Kiss of Mauve. Yeah, Kiss of Mauve. This one is a very beautiful, more on the kind of cool tone side pink. This shade I was grabbing so much. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. So much in winter specifically. I wish you could see how easily these specifically swatch. These ones specifically swatch because they are like butter. They're a powder version of butter, which sounds gross, but it isn't. I swear, it is just so beautiful. And then we have Kiss of Pink, which is the one that I got first, and also I would say my most loved of the blushes. But really, it kind of depends on the season. It's this one here. It's very pretty. I feel like it's pulling across really light, but that is stunning. And this formula is really nice. It blends so nicely onto the cheeks. It sits beautifully on top of liquids and powders. It is one that mixes really well with other powder formulas, which I really like. It's pigmented. Again, it's my most grabbed, most loved for sure, and the one I've talked about the most on this channel. Anyways, enough of that. Now, let's do this one next. Next, we have the Saie Beauty blushes, and this one came out at the same time as the Tower 28 one. So this is the Saie Beauty, their Radiant Blush Powder, and this one's in the shade Mia, this shade. It's beautiful. It is more of a baked blush powder style, however, okay, just in the crook of my arm feels crazy. That's all right. Gotta do it for science. Gotta do it for the plot, I guess. But I feel like it's gonna look insane, but we'll see. But this is a beautiful formula. I really, really enjoy this. I also tried this on camera if you want to see. I really like this formula. It reminds me a little bit of no. Here we go. The Bare Minerals, their powder bronzer, but it's not quite as buttery, and it isn't quite as reflective in my opinion. However, it is beautiful. Who let me do this? You know what I mean? But this is it. I'm gonna move to the other arm, and I'll swatch it on the other arm so that you can see it in all its glory, but it is very, very beautiful. This is another one that sits really beautifully on top of other powders, creams. All of these blushes I'm mentioning today layer beautifully on top of other cream blushes. I don't find that these at least create like a patchiness, if that makes sense. What is that noise outside? Doesn't matter. But it is very, very beautiful. And I really enjoy it. I wonder if you can see the sheen. I really enjoy the sheen and healthiness that it gives my cheeks. Look how stained my fingers are. Overall, very big fan. Now we're going to move on. Ooh. We got a lot of powder blushes. This one I'm going to just swatch without kind of talking while I swatch, because we got a lot here. These are the Jason Wu powder blushes. This is the Drive to Napa palette. Very pretty. Then we have this palette here, which is the Jason Wu Beauty Sext palette. This is very pretty. These all have a very pretty shimmer. The Drive to Napa palette, we have these two shades here are more on the matte side, and then this is a shimmer. Now we're going to swatch this one here, and that is the Sext palette right there. So beautiful. What I will say is the shimmers in these palettes, they do have a little bit kick up. Not in a bad way, but it's just something to note that, first of all, they're so pigmented, but also there might be a little bit more kick up, so lightly tap in the shimmers at least. Now this one here is Babe from Saint Tropez, and this shade, nope, the shade here is the reason I got this palette. So we're gonna do a swatch of these. And these right here are the Drive to Napa palette. Very, very pretty, pigmented, very pigmented, very pigmented. So just a light hand. I need to pull them up a little bit because I didn't, and they're not doing what I need them to do. All right, I pulled them up good enough, I think. I really enjoy these palettes. They are great. They're very affordable. You get 3 blushes each. The formulas of the mattes and the shimmers, at least that I've tried from these 3 palettes, are really nice. They just melt into the skin. They don't sit on top of the skin. None of these powders sit on top of your skin, which is really nice because there's nothing worse than just powder looking powdery, if that makes sense. Next up, we have what's on my cheeks today, the Ilia, their new powder blush. This is what inspired me to do a powder blush video. This is the shade Wonder. I did a full try on in the video before this. Oh my gosh, look at, am I kidding? Why am I like this? Please. And this formula is absolutely stunning. This one is not a powdery, like kick-up formula, but it's very pigmented. You see in the video when I'm trying it on, you're like, oh, ran away from her quick. It's gotta go all the way up. There we go. It is a very beautiful formula. It says it's a blurring powder blush, and I would agree with that. It has a nice blurring effect to it. It is, should we apply a little bit more? Oh my gosh, this looks like it has enough on it that I used this brush, and I'm just gonna tap. It's very, very, I don't want to apply too much because I did this earlier and I was like, okay. Every single time I apply this, it gets out of hand quick because I never have a light hand with blush. And I don't always hold towards the back. It's the best way to avoid over applying product is to hold the brush towards the back. But it is very, very pretty. And I am a very, very big fan of this formula. Again, it wears beautifully on top of powders, creams, liquids. It melts into the skin. It does, again, have a blurring effect in my opinion, and it is just so, so stunning. It is a new favorite, and I do think I want to get another shade. I just have to decide which shade I want to get because that is one that I just feel like the healthiness that it gives my cheeks is just so, so beautiful, and it's very comfortable to wear, does not look like powder, which is amazing. And then next up we have one that is pricey, but I do love her. This is the Westminatilier Baby Cheeks Blush Duo. This one is in the shade Suede and Sable. And I really like this blush formula. And it is expensive, but I do really enjoy it. I'm going to swatch on my hand because I'm getting blush all over my clothes. I feel like there's blush everywhere. Oh, there is, right here. Can you see? Can you see? And on this side, we have an issue here. Anyways, I really like this formula. It's nice. It's pressed in the pan really beautifully. It's a matte formula, and I like how easy it is to apply and how simple it not simple, but it just kind of melts into the skin, if that makes sense. So that is one shade there. And then we're going to go in with, I believe, yes. So the shade I just applied, this one, I believe is Sable. And then this one is Suede, which is what I'm going to apply next. It looks like it would be nothing, but it actually does do a little bit of something. I have tried this on camera if you want to see it in full action, but I really do enjoy the shade, even though it kind of looks like, girl, that's not doing nothing for you. It really does give me a nice, more subtle flush, but a flush nonetheless. It's a very just nude looking blush. I love a nude blush. Because sometimes I don't want to go full send with it, you know? It is very, very pretty. I really enjoy the formula. Now, of all the blushes, again, I mentioned the bronzers from Bare Minerals are my favorite formula. However, I will say that the new Ilia one, I have been loving. The Westminatilier one, I have really been enjoying. I'm mentioning my most grabbed, the House Labs, their matte ones. I have been loving, and I would say that these 4 formulas specifically are currently my most grabbed and most used, but I really enjoy all the other formulas. Just kind of really depends on my mood. But we have a lot of fun blushes. I'm gonna switch it so you can see everything. You have to let me know down below if you've tried any of these. What are your thoughts? What's your favorite powder blush formula? And do you like to wear your blush, like your powder blush on its own? Today I'm wearing the Ilia one on its own. Do you like to wear it on its own, or do you like to layer it on top of cream liquid blushes? Let me know down below. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my kind of breakdown of my favorite blushes, colors, formulas, swatches, all that jazz. Again, my favorite one is the Bare Minerals bronzer, but all of these are also kind of favorites that I do like to rotate around and grab. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.